Several considerations resulted in the new rates for tuition, room, and board fees for Whitworth's 2011 to 2012 academic year. This next year's budget is expecting a 6.2% increase. Total tuition costs will be another $2,000. There is a negative anticipation among students who are struggling to afford coming back to the university next year. Vice President of Finances and Administration Brian Benzel is working with others on a strategic plan that will address the needs of students as a whole while maintaining the quality of education.
We are looking at a number of new initiatives for next year that do cost money, and that's the basis for the tuition increase. That increase is attached to a significant increase in financial aid, and so our financial aid allocation for next year will be over $31 million. We have a team of people who will work with students in that regard. We pretty much have seen tuition increases every year. It is a fact of life in a tuition-based organization like Whitworth. We're seeing a narrowing of the spread between what it costs to go here net of the scholarships that students get and what it's going to cost to go to the public school.
This issue was also addressed to the incoming ASWU President Eric Fullerton.
Some talks this year about possibly putting aside money to do something like a modern scholarship for next year. That unfortunately didn't go through. All of the money in unallocated and capital are supposed to be spent for the fiscal year it was collected. So any money that was collected this year should be spent this year instead of spending it for next year. So that's one of the hindrances for something like setting up a scholarship.
Though Fullerton has no veto power within the financial decision-making process, he has a power of suggestion and hopes to use it to best serve and represent the students of Whitworth. Like many struggling students at Whitworth, freshman Andy Schwartzmeyer is being affected by the tuition raise and may not return as a result.
It's making it tough. I was not planning on taking out $11,000 in loans. I can't expect any help from my parents, so I do have an application submitted to the University of Idaho and am possibly going to be there next year. Between the increase in tuition and some scholarships that federal funding isn't there for anymore, I'm looking at twice the amount of loans I've planned on. To those of us on financial aid, $2,000 is the difference between this being affordable or not.
Our experience has been that we've held our students well. We don't hold every student, but we work hard both academically and with student life and with our financial services to make sure that we can keep our students here and making good progress on their academic achievement.